Hi everybody, welcome to this pick a card reading for the week starting on August the 30th. So this week we are in Virgo season. We started Virgo season last week on August the 23rd, and also Mercury moved retrograde in Virgo last week as well. This is significant because Mercury is really powerful in Virgo. It is the ruler of Virgo, but it also is in exaltation. So it's in its most powerful position of all the zodiac signs. And a Mercury retrograde there is a very strong retrograde to be working with. So when we're working with the Mercury retrograde, like we will be this week, we are looking at how we create our reality through our creative tools of our focus. Through our focus using our words, our communications, our thought habits, our minds to create reality. And I have done a separate video on the Mercury retrograde that goes into so much detail. It goes into all the detail about that, about how to use that, how to tap into that, how to use this retrograde to your benefit, to support your journey, to support your creative process, creating the life that you're trying to create for yourself. I'll link that down below. Definitely go and check that out. It's really important over the next few weeks to be working deliberately with the Virgo Mercury retrograde energy, because there's an opportunity here, right? There's an opportunity to manifest a new life for yourself if that's what you wish, to uplift your life that you're living now by taking your conscious awareness to thought habits and thought processes to uplift them. Now, the other thing that is happening this week is that we are at the very end of the Venus retrograde. So we have this like crossing over of the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde last week and this week. Venus has been retrograde in Leo since July the 23rd, has been working on this beautiful heart-opening energy. We've all been encouraged, we've all been supported to really open our heart space, be more heart-led in the way that we engage in life and with other people. So a lot of healing has come up through that. And Venus will move direct on September 4th. So this is the tail end of that Venus retrograde. Now, when Venus moves direct, she will be still in her post-retrograde shadow. So this transit is still important. We're still working with this energy, so it's not over yet. I have done a separate video on the Venus retrograde as well, with a separate tarot card reading for each zodiac sign. Go and check that out too, because that's really important. You keep working with that at least up until mid-October. There's a lot of healing, a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential there for you and for all of us to uplift our lives, create more harmony, create more love, more ease, more peace, more joy in our lives through that transit. Now, on August the 31st, we have a full moon in Pisces. So that full moon is in Virgo's opposite sign. It will be reflecting back onto the Mercury retrograde, but it also will be conjunct Saturn. Saturn has been moving through Pisces since March, has been bringing us a lot of lessons in that Pisces storyline. So we've all been really encouraged to look at our imaginations and how we use our imaginations to engage in reality, to engage in life, taking it a little bit more seriously, taking our connection to the divine, connection to spirit a little bit more seriously, for the purpose of actually coming together and reconnecting. There's been a disconnect, and Saturn can do that. Saturn can really isolate us, or it can isolate parts of our lives that it is influencing. And so there has been this disconnect, but it's really for the purpose of helping us to re-examine how we connect, particularly with something higher than ourselves. Pisces is very healing. The Pisces-Virgo axis is all about healing, it's health and well-being. So we're looking at our health and well-being, particularly on the mental level, as in the health and well-being of our minds and our imaginations. So that full moon will be a really healing moon as well. And then finally on September the 5th, we have Jupiter moving retrograde. That is the final of the outer planets in retrograde now. So that means that all of them are in retrograde, and we're in this very heightened retrograde energy. So we're all doing this internal process, doing this internal clean out, maybe feeling a little bit less social, a little bit less active at this time. And that's okay, because that is what is needed from us right now to do the work on the inside, so that we can create what we're trying to create on the outside down the track in the future. So we're laying foundations this week. So as always, you have 3 piles to choose from. This week, the piles are pile number 1, manifest, pile number 2, the sage, and pile number 3, dare to dream. So take your time, tune into each pile, see which one resonates with you, and I will see you in your readings. Before we move into the readings, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am working from today, the Kumbengi people, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I recognize their continued connection to the land and their culture, and that this is and always will be Aboriginal land. Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You have chosen the card Manifest. So this really is all about the Mercury Retrograde that we're in. We're in the midst of this Mercury Retrograde. It's really heightened energy, and it's really important that we work deliberately with this, particularly you working deliberately with this energy. It is an opportunity for you to manifest whatever you put your mind to. And that is really the crux of every Mercury retrograde. We have this opportunity to uplift our thought habits and our thought patterns in order to manifest and create our reality. So Mercury is the planet that rules our minds. It rules our thoughts, our words, our communications, and therefore our focus and where our attention goes. And so for that reason, Mercury is the most creative planet, is the planet where we utilize on a very practical level creating our reality, because our reality is created through a combination of our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and our beliefs, underlying beliefs, and therefore our actions and behaviors that make this vibrational offering to the universe called our state of being. So we create our state of being fundamentally from our beliefs. So when we want to manifest something, whatever it is, we must come into alignment with that particular desire that we're trying to create on all levels of our being in order to create a conducive state of being, a vibrational point of attraction that is a match to what we're trying to create. So that's the general gist of how we manifest. And for the purpose of this reading, it is looking at your thought habits, looking at your unconscious programming. So those programs usually come from childhood, and they form our foundational beliefs, and they operate most of the time outside of our awareness. So they are defaults. There are default settings that operate outside of our awareness, and we are manifesting from them. That's the sad part of this, is we often aren't even aware. That's why we receive manifestations, we receive realities that do not match what we think that we're creating, because we have these default underlying unconscious processes. Now, unconscious processes are actually a way that our mind makes its energy efficient. It's an efficiency, energy saving process, so that it doesn't have to continue to process information over and over again. It starts to streamline information by lining up certain neurons in the brain so they fire together, so that it's an efficiency thing, right? So we're literally talking about rewiring your entire brain and reconditioning the body and the subconscious mind at this time, so that you can manifest a reality that you want, especially if this is something that you've really struggled with in the past. So that Mercury retrograde video that I've done goes into so much more depth than that about how to do that, how to utilize it, and there's a separate tarot card reading. So definitely go and check that out for you this week, so you know how to use this energy to your advantage. We have the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Coins, and the Page of Coins with the King of Swords. So I feel like I'm just going to be repeating myself a little bit throughout this video. Sorry for that. But this is a time when we are learning. We're learning about ourselves through bringing the unconscious awareness into the conscious. So Mercury retrograde is a time when our thoughts slow down and are easy to observe. We have this opportunity to observe our own mind, King of Swords, and to learn from it, Page of Coins. So learning about yourself, you're learning about your thought processes, you're learning about unconscious habits. So thought habits, maybe there's a thought or a stream of thoughts that you think every day that you weren't even aware of. These are the kinds of things that you're looking at this week, allowing them to come to the surface, shining a light on them, illuminating them for the purpose of creating awareness. When we are aware, when we are conscious, when we are deliberate in our thinking, we start to produce these a new set of behaviors, new sets of actions, because we are approaching it with more responsibility, with more ownership of our mind. So this Mercury retrograde is literally about getting control of your mind, becoming the master of your mind instead of allowing your mind to rule you. So the first place you start is learning about what your mindset is. What unconscious thoughts are you really thinking? Getting curious about that. And then you can start to make those adjustments later on where you can stop having certain thoughts and replace them with more beneficial, more supportive thoughts. So allow this week to be a time to sit with your mind, to allow things to rise to the surface, 6 of coins, to receive the information that's coming up for you through this time. There is this new journey that you're going on, 8 of cups. I feel that, there's something missing emotionally in your life. It's what you're trying to manifest. It could be different for everybody. Could be love, could be career, could be family, could be home. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for everybody, but it's this emotional fulfillment that is missing. So that's your indicator. Where are you feeling emotionally unfulfilled? There are limiting beliefs, limiting processes that are happening in your mind that are keeping you from having those experiences, from feeling emotionally fulfilled. The 5 of coins and the Temperance. Ace of Wands in reverse and the World. And we have the Queen of Coins, and the 4 of Coins. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit card. So the Hermit card is the card that is ruled by Virgo. It's really just emphasizing the importance of the Virgoan energy at this time in your life. Virgo is very good at bringing an analytical focus to the details. So you're looking at the details. So for you, when these thoughts come out of the unconscious mind, when you're observing your thought habits, you're really wanting to get specific, is what it's saying to you. Get more specific. Look at the details. Don't allow yourself to become too overly critical or too overly worried, because that is the lower manifestation of it. But making sure that you're not just glossing over things. There is this scarcity mindset coming up, 5 of Coins. That is what is blocking you at this time. There's a scarcity mindset. There's a lack of fuel of the fire in your belly, Ace of Wands. So a lack of passion, a lack of drive that's coming from not believing that either you're not enough or there isn't enough, or there's a lack. When we are in lack, we cannot create abundance. That's not just financially, but in any area of your life, wherever you're applying this to. If you're in a lack, if you're searching for something, 8 of Cups, if you're actually searching for something, that is an indicator. It's an emotional, a vibrational message to the universe that thing is missing in your life, 5 of Coins. And therefore, the universe will continue to deliver you examples and experiences of where that is missing. So we need to be working on the foundational beliefs of enoughness, foundational beliefs that there is always enough, there's universal flow. It's a tricky one, and a lot of people, this is not uncommon. There is, most people are dealing with this, how to move into that abundance mindset, especially if you're dealing with something that you've never experienced or has always been missing in your life. It's very hard to convince your body and your subconscious mind that you have that thing when you've never experienced it. So that's how we manifest, is we bring into real time our future selves, the future self that has what we're looking for, that has what we're trying to create. We need to feel it in our bodies now. But like I said, if there's scarcity mindset around that, and there's this defensive, protective processes around that, particularly mind thought habits that are designed to protect you but that are keeping you separated. These things need to be undone. They need to be unraveled. Okay, we have the Three of Coins and the Six of Wands. So there may be other people involved. Three of Coins is people in your life that recognize your value, that want to work together with you. Maybe there's a vision for your future that you're trying to manifest, and there's people that can help you, people you can delegate to, or people that are thinking on the same wavelength as you and are wanting to do the same thing. So this could be about collaborating with other people, or maybe in that collaboration you can start to believe that it will be true, that it is possible. There's also a need to validate yourself, to validate your experiences, to validate your enoughness. So when we are seeking something externally from us, so anything that can be anything, but let's go with the example of love. Say we're seeking love externally, we're looking for other people to show us love. That is because that is an indication that you are not feeling that love yourself. You're not filling yourself up with those feelings of love. And that is a really prime example of lack, of scarcity, when we're trying to seek something externally. So there's an example of something that could be coming up for you this week. We have the Five of Coins with the Six of Cups. Things from childhood are coming up. When we're in this retrograde energy, when we're looking at our unconscious programming, we're always going to be looking from at childhood. That sort of goes without saying. Or a lot of this stuff, we pretty much spend our lives unraveling the things that happen to us, the beliefs that we lay down through those formative years at the very beginning of our life. We create this set of beliefs and set of meanings and lenses, and then we spend the rest of our life undoing those. So this is stuff from childhood coming up for you. There's other people have maybe these beliefs of not enoughness, of not good enough, of, money doesn't grow on trees, or any of those kinds of examples. It will be different for everybody. They're coming from that, they're stemming from things that you experienced in childhood. So when we're doing this work, when we're bringing our awareness around that, sometimes it's really not even important to go to the root cause. Sometimes trying to find the root cause of something makes that thing stay in your system for longer. It makes you, it perpetuates the problem more, because sometimes it's really is simply just a shift of momentum that is needed, and you don't even really need to know why. And other times it's better when you know why, you can heal it. There's more tools around healing it, but just being aware that if you're really sort of hyper-focusing on finding the reason, finding the cause, trying to work it out, trying to understand it, that you are actually continuing that cycle of resistance. We have the Nine of Cups with the Ace of Wands. Okay, I feel like for you that this is coming from a place of you've had desires in the past and they haven't manifested for you. You've had big goals for yourself, or something really exciting that you really loved and it didn't work out. And so you've lost that fire, that passion. You've lost the ability to believe in your capacity to receive what really lights you up, what lights you on fire. Maybe you've been overwhelmed with responsibility, or having to do things that for the purpose of survival. And these things had to take a back seat. These desires had to take a back seat. What we're doing here is we're reigniting that fire. That Venus retrograde in Leo will reignite the fire for you. That is the purpose of that energy. Leo is very creative. Venus is very creative. She's trying to light the creativity within our heart center so that we all are being more heart-led, are being more creative in life. This is a really powerful time to be on this planet in terms of creativity. Creativity is the driving force that is allowing people to expand rapidly, but only the people who are tapping into that creativity is reaping the benefits of it. Okay, so this Venus retrograde is really giving you that last little push that you need to open your heart to being creative, but always the choice is yours. So Venus does move direct on September 4th. And so there'll be a little bit of a forward momentum. So while she was in retrograde, we were having this sort of internal processes happening, but when she moves forward, you can start putting things into action. And particularly when she moves out of Leo and into Virgo next month, in October, we'll really start to see this ramp up. And we have the Knight of Cups with the Queen of Coins. So this is really a beautiful blending of the heart and mind. And that's what so the Venus retrograde is working on the heart center, and the Mercury retrograde is working on the mind. And there's this beautiful blending of the two that is happening here to open you up to the possibilities, not only on the heart level, but on the mental level as well. So allowing your heart to be the magnet. Your heart is the magnet that draws experiences to you, that creates experiences for you. And the mind is the focus. It's the tool of creativity where we put our attention, where we focus our attention is what we create. So it's the signal. It sends a signal out into the universe, and the heart draws that whatever it is into us. And so this is really doing that on the real material level. So doing that on the physical level, we're looking at what your heart desires, wrapping some constructive thought habits around that heart space, and then seeing it manifest in reality. So a really good strategy for you this week would be to recognize and identify, and just train your brain to be recognizing and identifying things in your reality that are already the way you want it to be, or things in your reality that are already positive and constructive. So like, say for example, if you really want to feel a sensation of satisfaction, looking at your reality and finding every little bit every little thing that satisfies you in your reality, even the smallest minute details, the more you train your focus to be focusing on those kinds of things, the more that your mind will start doing that automatically and will uplift your beliefs. So if you prove something to yourself enough times, your beliefs have to change. They automatically change. There's another way to go about it. Say you want to manifest a love, a relationship. Every time you see people in relationships, recognize it, identify it, tell your mind that's what it looks like. So your body, because your body and your subconscious mind do not know the difference between your imagination and your reality. So you need to tell your body and subconscious mind what it's going to feel like, what that feels like. You need to train it in the real time. This is a really powerful way of doing that. We have the Sun with the Temperance card. I think there will be a lot of success for you through this Mercury retrograde, maybe even this week, where you will find that spark. I think you are going to find that spark that I was talking about, this Ace of Wands, where this is going to turn around in your favor. You may be lit up and you may feel very passionate. The Eight of Cups is about looking for something that's missing, an emotional fulfillment that is missing. She's going out to look for it across the horizon. You're going to be successful in that. There is this alchemy that's coming in, this harmony of blending everything together, particularly blending the head and the heart, for an optimistic, hopeful future. There's success here, Six of Wands. A new chapter in your life coming in, and your receptivity of this new chapter with the World here. The World is clarified with the Queen of Wands. That's that creative juice, that creative energy. Being bold and confident at this time is what is needed from you. That Leo energy, the Queen of Wands is the sign, the card that is ruled by Leo. So that's the energy that's needed from you, that bold confidence, the ability to be an inspiration, to be inspired, to act in that playful way. You're moving into this chapter of your life as you feel that light turn on inside you, the flames start to grow inside you, and you wrap some supportive narratives around it, some supportive thought habits around it. You can grow that substantially for yourself. We have the Four of Coins with the Hanged Unicorn. So there is a perspective shift. Like we've been talking about this this whole reading with the Mercury retrograde, there is a perspective shift. There's an upliftment of the thought habits and upliftment of the mind. Now, this is to do with where you're trying to keep yourself safe, where you're reserving yourself. Again, we're going back into that, looking at that scarcity mindset, that lacking mindset. See how this woman is protecting her purse here? It's because she feels like she doesn't have enough. When we are in an abundant space, when we're abundant in our minds, in our hearts, we do not need to hold on to anything, because we know that anything that we give out, we will recreate. We can recreate. We trust in universal flow. So people who genuinely tap into abundance, when they manifest their wealth, they give it all away because they're not fearful of losing anything. So there's this scarcity lack mindset, the fear of losing things, fear of maybe going for your dreams, because what if you lose it? What if you get it and then you lose it? That foreboding joy, so like fear of feeling fully open and embracing joyful experiences, passions, in case that is taken away from you again or you lose it. These are all the kinds of things that you can work with the Mercury retrograde on, shifting internally. So they're not automatic habits that you are engaging in. Okay, and this week it is going to be important that you surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Now, it may be other people that you're feeling resentful toward, but I am feeling actually more is feeling resentful for this flame going out. So things that didn't work out in the past, maybe you tried really hard to create a dream and it failed or it didn't work, and then their resentment comes up, and that's why there's this scarcity mindset, this lack mindset of believing that it can't happen because you tried so hard and it didn't happen. So there's a need to surrender that now. We're in a new phase in your life. We're in the new phase cosmically. We're in this phase of creativity. You're highly creative. You're manifesting your entire life, constantly manifesting. So where do you want to manifest from? Do you want to manifest from this space of resentment and therefore manifest more experiences in your life for you to resent? Or do you want to surrender that and drop out of that and make that not a part of your character anymore? Change and uplift your thought habits and your perspective towards one of more forgiveness, more compassion, more ease, and more joy. Okay, so that is your week this week, your reading, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time with me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and have a great week. Hello there, pile number 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You chose the card of the Sage. Now, this card is all about you in tapping into your inner wisdom, your inner knowing. So really knowing from an inner level, not needing other people to tell you, not needing other people's advice, but knowing on the internal level. I think this full moon in Pisces will be extremely important for you this week on the 31st, on Thursday. So that full moon will be creating a lot of healing. So there's a lot of healing potential available too, and it's healing through going into your internal landscape and using your wisdom, using your knowledge, using your own creative process, your own meditative process to tap into what's coming up for you on the inner level. The Sage is very wise and is a teacher as well, so you can utilize this process for teaching others, but coming from an authentic, higher perspective rather than the ego. So if ego things come up for you this week, especially around that full moon, remembering to apply insane amounts of compassion to yourself, insane amounts of healing energy to yourself. So when we have a full moons bring up emotional blockages, emotional needs that are not being met or that have not been met, that can come up at this time with a full moon for the purpose of releasing resistance. So really that's what a full moon is about. And this one in Pisces is going to be requiring you to release resistance to your own inner wisdom. We are in Virgo season. We have that Virgo energy influence, and so it would be important to just be aware of not becoming too heavily critical, not being too harsh on yourself at this time. So we have the Two of Coins, the Five of Cups, and the Page of Cups. There's this sort of juggle that goes on with when we are engaging in the Virgo Pisces axis between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. So Pisces is the sign that really draws our attention to bringing the spiritual into the physical. So whatever's coming up for you this week, you may be receiving a lot of downloads. Like Pisces are very sensitive, very intuitive sign. So if you're really engaged and tapping into that full moon, you may be receiving a lot of information from beyond the veil. There's a boundary blur that happens here, so you're juggling this, being able to channel it down. Because that Sage card's here, this may be your mission this week. It may be what you're here for this week, is to channel the divine into the physical reality, to bring some more divine. I feel that really strongly in my heart for you, that you can bring this down into the physical and be a walking embodiment of source energy this week. There could be grief that comes up for you. The Five of Cups, this healing energy is a strong healing energy this week. And so bringing healing around places or things that you have lost, that you feel a sense of loss or grief around. Could be people, could be life experiences, could be anything really. That really feels like a heavy heart. It's a great time to do that work. We've got the Mercury Retrograde, and yeah, so this is a really good time to explore your inner landscape and to really work out where you're sitting with all of these things. That feel very drawn to doing this inner work this week for you. The Page of Cups, this is about opening your heart. So when we are feeling a lot of grief or a lot of heaviness, there is a tendency to close our hearts, but we're trying to juggle that, balance that by not being too overly emotional and too overly vulnerable, but having the right amount of coins so that your heart can radiate. Your heart can be a magnet. It can draw experiences into you so that you can still have this openness of the open system. We have the Ten of Coins and the Empress. Three of Cups and the Queen of Cups. We have the Hierophant and the Magician. On the bottom of the deck we have the Lovers. So possibly this does have to do with a romantic situation with the Lovers on the bottom of the deck, but I'm actually not getting that feeling. I'm just getting the feeling more that it's to do with really relating to everybody in your life, not just on a romantic level, but in every space that we relate. So with your colleagues at work, with your bosses, with your clients, with your family, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with the people that serve your coffee. Like every person that you engage with is an interaction. There's an interaction between you and them, and that interaction between you and them, that third component that is the relationship, that's the bit that Venus rules. And Venus is in retrograde, moving forward and moving direct on September 4th. So that Venus retrograde moving direct is a powerful time because Venus is stationing, so that retrograde energy is heightened at this time. This is really important that you do this work. I go and watch that Venus retrograde video that I've done so that you know how to work with her energy at this time. We've got the Empress card here. We've got the Queen of Cups, Three of Cups. There's a lot of like heartfelt relating that you're doing. We'll also have the Magician card here representing that Mercury retrograde. So that's coming up into this too. It's a big week really of doing this deep inner work, this inner personal work. We have the Four of Coins and the Ace of Wands. So there may have been a tendency in the past that you would close your heart to people. And that can come from when you felt lost, when you felt grief. Maybe someone left you, or maybe someone died, or maybe, maybe you're grieving the loss of something or somebody you've never had. So there's this tendency to close our hearts and to try and protect ourselves, defense mechanisms, Four of Coins, when that happens. This is what you're healing this week. This is what you're engaging in this week, because there's something coming in. There's something wanting to create this fresh start. There's a potential new energy, very creative energy here. This row here, this is all about creating your reality. The Ace of Wands, a new creative adventure. The Empress, she literally creates life in her belly. She is the mother archetype of creating life. The Queen of Cups, she uses her emotional guidance system to create her reality. And the Magician uses his focus, uses his words and his communication. He uses all the elements of the tarot to create reality. So this is where you're at, using your wisdom and your knowledge to do the work on the internal level so that you can create a reality that matches the one that you want for yourself. Okay, we have the Star with the 10 of Coins. I think that you are being guided, you're being directed towards doing the healing work that is required for you to have all the things that you want to have. The 10 of Coins is really the pinnacle of the tarot. Like, this is really this is where you reach the point in your life where you can look over your life and be completely satisfied. Look over your life and be like, I have achieved everything I wanted to achieve. I'm so satisfied. Now I'm ready to give back. Give back to community, give back to the world, give back to the collective, in whatever way, give back to my family, my friends, whatever way. So this is the underlying emotional quality is achievement and satisfaction. So that's what you're being guided towards. So if you're feeling really out of alignment with achievement and satisfaction, there's work here to do, but this is bringing that in. You're bringing that into your life at this time. We have the 5 of Wands with the 3 of Cups. So maybe this is something to do with a social situation. With the 3 of Cups, that's like celebrations and socializing, friends going out. And the 5 of Wands, there is conflict there, okay? There's this competition going on. 5 of Cups, again, conflict, feeling of loss, feeling that something's been taken away from you that's made you close your heart down to other people. So where this feeling of satisfaction comes in is also through connection. Sometimes we can become really goal oriented, really achievement oriented. We can like reach for accolades. We can be really career oriented, and we forget or neglect those relationships. We forget how important relationships are. And I think this is coming up on a collective level. Maybe it's that Venus retrograde. It's really coming up for everybody, that this disconnect that's been happening, you know, since sort of 2020. There's been a big shift in how we relate to each other, since through isolation, through the increase in social media, the increase in online activity. You know, the way that we connect and relate to each other has shifted a lot. And so this is like kind of part of our evolution, but also we're needing to remember to come back to the roots and come back to that face-to-face, skin-to-skin, body-to-body connection and relationships. So there could be stuff coming up for you around that, around feeling disconnected, feeling isolated, and feeling wounded and hurt because of ways that people have mishandled you, have mistreated you. We have the 4 of Wands. I love that for you with the Hierophant, the 4 of Wands. This is a celebration. So we're moving out of that energy into celebration, into celebrating the divine. The universe is literally celebrating you. So if you can open your heart, if you can be vulnerable, and you can reconnect and reintegrate, use your wisdom to help others. Maybe this is somebody else that's feeling this way and it's not you. And the universe is calling on you to be a sage for somebody else, to help with somebody else's healing, to show the way, like how you've done it. You've got strategies. You've been successful in overcoming certain things, in overcoming certain obstacles or certain hurts or certain pains. So sharing that wisdom with other people at this time, if you can do that, opening your heart, allowing other people to see the process that you went through, you'll be celebrated, you'll be rewarded for that. There's another 3 of Cups with the Empress. So you could be creating with other people, creating more harmony, more flow, more joy between you and other people. I do think this is about how you relate, like I said at the beginning, but not in terms of intimate partnerships, but with everybody in your life. I think you're creating positive changes in relationships with everyone. So you're changing, you're adapting yourself. Your inner landscape is adapting so that every person you come in contact with will be feeling that, and there'll be more harmonious flow, more gentle ease between you and other people. So you may find other people are really drawn to you at this time during this week, really drawn to being in your experience, wanting to spend time with you, wanting to hang out with you. Maybe you have that knowledge that they need. You can help them. We've got the Page of Swords with the Queen of Cups. So there's this, like I've said, you have this emotional strength, you have this emotional resilience that you can share with other people, that you can express to other people. Page of Swords, you can show other people how you navigated hard times or emotionally difficult times, how you successfully overcame them. You can be a support system, you can be a healer for this week or onwards, maybe. A counselor for other people. So those conversations may come up. People may be seeking you out for those conversations because of your wisdom on emotional regulation, self-regulation, emotional soothing, self-soothing, those kinds of processes and strategies that you've used. And we have the Seven of Cups. So it's important whenever we're manifesting is to know what you're trying to create. It could be a bit clouded. Your manifestations may be a bit clouded, what you're trying to create. That I do feel like I've sort of covered quite a few different topics, finding it a little bit difficult to tie it into one narrative, one storyline. So there may be a lot going on for you with that Seven of Cups. Maybe you don't even really know what you're trying to create. But this week, it's just focusing on how you relate to other people, how your energy feels in every interaction, that every person you come in contact with throughout the day. What kind of exchange do you want to have with that person? Even, say, using the example of the person who makes you coffee, sometimes you can just give that person a brilliant, bright smile and gratitude for the coffee they made, and you can turn their whole day around. I feel like this is what this is really about. This is what it's talking about. Maybe set the intention this week to do that, to just go and turn everybody's day around with just kindness, just a smile, just gratitude. It will uplift your spirits. It will help you to come into alignment with gratitude and kindness. And that will amplify things for you. That will help you to heal as well. Okay, and this week you need to surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So what I just said about uplifting other people's spirits is the number one best way to uplift our own self-esteem, to uplift our own mental health, our own mental habits. So when we're feeling low, when we're feeling hurt, if you are in this Five of Cups energy, the best way, the quickest way to overcome it is to go out and help somebody else, to go out and make somebody else's day. And then when you can do that, when you feel that pure exchange of gratitude or pure exchange of kindness, literally I feel like I just keep getting this like simple acts of kindness for you this week. Go and make that your mission this week. Simple acts of kindness, even to complete strangers. Maybe someone walking down the street, you may give them a compliment or, do something nice for someone without any need for recognition or a thank you. And it makes you feel really good about yourself because you're making a difference. You're giving back to community, this place where you come into alignment with satisfaction and then you're able to give back. How about skipping that step and just start giving back and see what happens? Just use it as an experiment to see what happens and to see how you feel about yourself, about the world, and to see how other people feel as well. Okay, that is your reading for this week. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your time. A simple act of kindness you could do for me would be to subscribe, to share this video, and to leave me a comment. I would love, love, love to hear from you. And I hope you have a really beautiful week. I'll see you next week. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading. You have chosen the card Dare to Dream. I love, love, love this card. especially with the current energy that we're engaging with. The Mercury retrograde started last week and will be under the influence of that retrograde for this whole week. This Mercury retrograde is always, and this week is no exception, the ability to mold and to manipulate our focus, our thought habits, our unconscious programs, our beliefs, so that we can create the life that we desire, the life that we dream of. This card is daring you to do that work, daring you to dream big. Nothing is beyond your ability when you're using and tapping into and using cosmic forces like a Mercury retrograde. Literally anything is possible. I also really love the full moon in Pisces for you that's happening on August the 31st. That full moon in Pisces is all about dreaming. Pisces is the zodiac sign of our dreams, of our imagination, of our capacity to create reality on the internal level first and then on the external. So we always, every situation, everything is created first on the inside, then on the outside. And this is that invitation to do that work too. So utilizing the resources of your imagination and your creative focus, your mind, to literally mold reality into something that you are trying to create, to achieve for yourself. We have the Two of Coins, the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Swords. So the Two of Coins keeps coming out this week, and I think really what it's trying to say is that there's this juggle between the physical and the non-physical. So we have a lot of energy in Virgo. We've got the sun traveling through Virgo. We've got the Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So Virgo is a very physical, very practical sign. So it really draws our attention to physical reality, to the what isness around us, to what we have already created. The problem with that is when we're looking at what we've already created, when we're looking at our reality and what we're engaging with in the here and now, we're looking at past vibrations. We're not looking at what we're doing now with our energy. We're not looking at what's possible in the future. We're just looking at the past. So with the Pisces component, with that Pisces full moon that's happening on Thursday, Pisces is the sign of the non-physical. It's the sign of the spiritual, of the intuitive, of the imagination. It's the sign of the future, really, of future manifestations, of our future vibrations. So there's a little bit of trickiness here between juggling those, having one foot in reality, having one foot in the imagination, but you're being very much guided to focus more on your imagination at this time. So with the Seven of Wands, it may be important that you stand up for what you believe in. You stand up for your authentic energy. So there's like, if some people might be questioning you, for example, you have like a really massive dream, do not share it with other people. Okay, that would be my advice. I mean, you can, but I just wouldn't, because other people start to put their opinions in. They start to give you ideas about why it can't happen, about what could go wrong, about how much it would take to achieve it. When you start to let other people have that kind of say in your dreams, it waters them down and it dilutes them so that it's harder to achieve. So keeping the energy tight this week, especially if you've got a really big dream that's come to you or that you're working on, just keeping it to yourself, keeping it tight with that Seven of Wands, and utilizing this week to meditate. The Mercury retrograde, is crucial that you meditate. To get the most out of this is crucial that you meditate every day if you can, at least 20 minutes every day to meditate, to really harness this energy. Spend some time contemplating, spend some time alone, being in your imagination, daydreaming, allowing your dreams to feel that. That's how we create reality, right? So our subconscious mind, our body doesn't know the difference between the physical reality and our imagination. So when we want to create something that is not happening in our lives, we have to convince our physical body and our subconscious mind, which are basically the same thing, we have to convince them that it's happening in real time. We can do that through our imagination. We can do that through meditation by embodying that feeling for a sustained period of time, 20 minutes, say. The body and the subconscious mind then starts to believe it's really happening. in real time, and then starts to seek that out and starts to behave like it's happening. And that's how we create our reality. That's how we change our reality. We have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Coins. We have the Nine of Wands and Justice. And we have the Page of Swords and Two of Wands. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is really things moving in your favor, things turning around, the fortune turning around in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune, the things that turn around in our favor, they happen, they can seem to happen by chance. This is the card that's ruled by Jupiter, so it can seem like we're really lucky, but in reality this comes from preparation. You have to prepare the soil, you have to prepare your vibration, prepare your energy, and that preparation comes through your imagination, through your meditation, through contemplation, through being in that energy, being in that state of being, and then the wheel starts to turn and we start to see things coming in. So this is what's available to you this week. I highly recommend you make this a priority because this is life-changing energy. Look, we've got the Nine of Cups, literally dreams coming a reality, becoming a reality. You're almost there, 2 nines, almost there. Keep working on your skills, working on what it would require for you to be the person that has whatever it is you're trying to create, whatever knowledge you need, whatever skills you need, whatever life you would engage in if you were that person's. Keep working on that this week. Even to the point where you may feel like deluded almost is what I'm hearing for you. It's like you're not really deluded, but like convincing yourself so much that it's already in your life that other people may look at you like you're deluded. But don't let other people in on that. Just, doing it within yourself. Really convincing yourself this is happening. We have the Chariot and the Nine of Coins. So this really is about being brave enough to go after something, being brave. This is another 9. Again, you're almost there. This is so close to being reality. You just need to fully embody it. So being brave and courageous to step out into your world, into your reality as if it already is. Like I said, almost in a deluded way, almost so that you are like in psychosis of convincing yourself that your reality is everything that you want. That's how you're creating this dream. This dream is literally taking root in the world, and then it will start to be showing on the outside. Then other people will start to be able to see it if you can sustain that energy for long enough. Because there is a lag period, right? There's a period between when we do this work, when we start doing this work, when we start having this desire, when we have the dream, and when it actually manifests in reality. The trick is, and where most people go wrong, is they give up between that lag period. They don't want to appear deluded to other people. They don't want other people to judge them for believing in something that they can't see, and so they give up, or they stop believing in it themselves, and so they give up. So it's really important not to give up during that lag time. We have the Two of Wands. So double Two of Wands here. This is a vision for your future, a dream for your future. It's something pretty huge. It's something that, it could be very life-changing and something that you really want for yourself. You're drawing it to you, Two of Wands, Nine of Cups. You're literally drawing it to you through appreciation, through gratitude, bringing it into your heart space, convincing your body, convincing your subconscious mind that it's happening now in the here and now. Nine of Wands with the Tower. I think there is this need to, like I've just said, there's need to be persistent, to persevere even through time where it may not seem like it's going to happen, through that lag time. This is talking about that lag time. Maybe even with the Tower, there could be an event that happens or something that comes up this week that could very easily knock your alignment or knock you into a state of disbelief. So knock you out of that delusion and back into reality, and then you may default back to old settings, okay? So it's really important that you protect yourself during that time if something does come up, and even if it does knock you, to pick yourself back up and keep going, to keep going with this energy, keep pushing through that lag time so that you're not just having to start from scratch again, because you must persevere is what the cards are telling you. No matter what happens in your reality, persevere with your dreams. Persevere with this. Keep going. We have the Death card. Interesting. The Tower with the Death card. And we have the Chariot. So this is huge. What's happening is huge. So there could be ideas, like I said, contemplation. There's maybe even through meditation, you may receive downloads or information or have conversations with people that's going to change your direction. It will change the way things unfold for you. There's a transformation, the Death card and the Tower card, very definite transformation. You want to be in control of that in terms of you want to be deliberately flowing that energy in the direction you want it to go. And this is going to happen no matter what you do. So may as well actually work consciously with it, work deliberately with it. Go and watch my Mercury Retrograde video so you know how to do that. There's an individual tarot card reading, so it will show you how to do that for your zodiac sign. So that you're deliberately engaging with this energy. It's not going to have its way with you. You are going to utilize it in your life. We have the Five of Wands. I think there is skills that you need to learn, skills that you need to grow. So you may have this massive dream, and that may be why people will think you're deluded, because you don't have the skills yet. It's just about getting those skills. It may take a little bit longer because you need to learn something. You need to master a strategy. You need to work on the internal process. You need to get it right. Virgo energy is very much about the detail. It's about mastering something. So here you are mastering something, but do not allow haters to hate or people to tell you that it's not possible because you don't have the skills. You can always acquire the skills you need. The Ten of Coins in reverse on the Justice card. Okay, so the Nine of Coins is almost there. The Ten of Coins would be there. The Ten of Coins is on the table, which means that it is possible. But what you put out is what you're going to receive back with the Justice card, okay? So you need to be authentic. You need to be aligned. You need to dare to dream and maintain that dream in the face of adversity. So there could be a lot coming up for you that could knock you. This could be very challenging for you. This week is challenging those big dreams this week. But if you can persevere through it, this Ten of Coins can turn around. So everything, you can be 100% satisfied. You can have all the things that you wanted for yourself are possible when the Ten of Coins is on the table, even in reverse. And we have the Nine of Cups. Again, double Nine of Cups. And oh, look at that. Nine of Cups, Two of Wands, Two of Wands, Nine of Cups. Yeah. Your massive desires, your biggest dreams, the biggest hopes of that for your future are what we're talking about here. And they're very possible. You can create them on the internal level in your imagination, in your mind, through meditation. And they can become a reality, Nine of Coins. You just focus on them, just maintain that focus on them. The Mercury Retrograde is all about our focus. Where our attention goes is what we manifest in our lives, okay? Our focus creates our reality. And so if you can keep your eye on the prize, keep your focus trained on that and your beliefs that it will happen for you, even in the face of this adversity that's coming up, you will get there. It's not going to happen this week, or it most likely won't happen this week. This week is where you really show the universe your commitment to it. Okay, so this week it is important to surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships, practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. That could be just saying no to people's opinions about your dreams. Like I said at the beginning, do not let other people. I mean, really, I would just be recommending to keep this to yourself. Keep this tight, this energy tight. Don't really let other people in on this. Keep these dreams alive within you, but don't share them with other people. That's the limit that needs to be set. If you're an oversharer, if you're someone who really likes to include everybody, it might be quite difficult for you this week, but the tighter that you can keep that energy, the more it can build. And then it will burst out of you, and people will be surprised at what you've achieved by doing this. So, setting those limits, if people want a lot from you this week, you need to make this the priority. The Nine of Cups, Two of Wands needs to be a priority. Okay, that's your dreams, your desires, your vision for the future has to be the priority this week. So you may have to just say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not available, without an explanation. They may want to know why you can't, but you just have to. I'm just working on some things on my own, I'm working on myself at this time. I'm not available at this time, especially if they're people that will create these tower kind of concepts in your mind. This needs to be the priority for you, part number 3. Okay, so that is your reading for this week. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Have a fabulous week. I'm really excited for you. And yeah, take care. See you next week.